Now, I want to get to this next because this is absolutely fascinating. And I have to confess, I got this from the Moose this morning, who did some really good research on this. And if you go through this World Wildlife Fund report, it's absolutely fascinating. And I didn't expect climate change hysteria to be rebuffed by the WWF. But that's what this report does. If you go through this report, it essentially says that Canada is absorbing more greenhouse gases than it's expelling. So we're already at net zero. So why are we punishing the oil and gas industry? We're probably below net zero. This is a fascinating report. I encourage you to read it. It's online. And I'm not going to go through it page by page. But that's the lesson here. That we're already at net zero. But guess what? I hadn't seen this report prior to this morning when I looked at it. I was going to run with this story, but it agrees with the World Wildlife Fund in terms of greenhouse gases being absorbed by the environment. Let's listen to this.
Research into cattle emissions has mostly focused on the animals themselves, but new research happening at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln is focusing on the pastures where cattle graze and the role that it can play in carbon capture.
They've not accounted for the capture part. They've only accounted for methane being lost, and everything else is at balance. Turns out that's not really true.
When it comes to greenhouse gases, you have emissions and capture. Animals emit carbon, or CO2, but the soil and plants that grow in it can capture CO2. And Ericsson's team has found that capture, helped out by cattle grazing and manure, can far outweigh the emissions from cattle.
With adequate precipitation, we're actually seeing that grasslands can take up more CO2 or more carbon in the soil and the plants that offsets the CO2 that cattle are producing, but also offsets the methane.
Ericsson and Schweitzer both hope this research won't just correct assumptions about ag's role in climate change.
Yeah, fascinating report. I encourage you to have a look at that. Thank you for sharing this station with your friends and family. Thank you for hitting that like button, because I tell you, we are fighting back in a way I've never had to before, because I am going to keep this station on the air. I am going to keep fighting for freedom. I'm going to keep fighting for justice and truth, because that's all I have left. And I am damn determined to resist this Carney government in any way possible as it encroaches upon our individual freedom. And it will continue to do that, mark my words. And that's why we're here today. I'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, 10 a.m. This has been David Krayden, broadcasting live from our nation's capital in Ottawa. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.
You can't handle the truth.
Resolve to resist